Hello. Happy to be here. Share my screen. Okay. Okay. I will talk about the Danish success story and the third generation of digital identity solution. Maybe some information about the Nexi Group and NETS. So we are part of the Nexi Group, and it is a strategic combination of 3 European paytech leaders who wants to shape the future of innovation, digitalization, and payments. So you can see we are in 25 countries. We are working with 1,000 financial institutions. We are the #1 merchant acquirer, card processor, working with 2.4 million merchants, but also 160 million of cards, and are around 9,000 employees, and have investment, IT, and innovation spend of 300 million per year. If we look at the NETS, where we are coming from the Nordics, origin from the Nordics, and as I said before, one of the most digital society in Europe. We have more than 20 years of experience in offering digital identity solution like ID verification, authentication, and authorization. We have 9 million digital identity we have administered. We have 1 billion transaction we are handling annually. We have 2,000 providers who are using our eID infrastructure, and 67 banks are using the NETS eID solution, and 99.9% of the population is using our solution. We were talking about the digitalization's degree and the economy and society index, and you can see that Denmark is one of the top countries in Europe in offering digital identity solution in the public sector and private sector. And here you can see the ranking is changing every day. Last year we have been #1, and then we are 2 or 1 or 2, always under the top 2. We were talking about the 3 generation of eID solution. So we started in 2003, 2010, and it was more like for banks to offer kind of starting offering digital services to their customers and self-service solution. In 2010, we were talking about two-factor. We were talking about having a kind of a two-factor authentication solution and a little bit more digital solution for the banks and for the public sector. In 2010, the public sector made its services mandatory, like a tax return for citizens to use the digital identity to do the tax return, maternity allowance, and so on. And the 2010 solution, and then we built a third generation, which we launched in October 2021, and this was to be PSD2 compliant, to have a level of assurance high, because before we were substantial and low, and now we are also a highest level of assurance, and to have a solution which is very modular, also built on APIs, application program interfaces. If we look at the Danish eID solution, I mean, it is very important that the solution is easy to use, consumer friendly, and have a lot of cases where you can use it. So you can see in Denmark, as I mentioned before, we have 1.275 billion of transactions. Half of it is public sector, mostly banking. So you need to have use cases so that the citizens can use the digital identity. We have 9 of 10 are using the MitID, so the digital identity solution from the government, built by NETS for mobile banking. We have 35% who have been exposed to phishing, which we could prevent due to our cybercrime department. So it's also important that you look at security, crime prevention, and fraud prevention. We have 179 people over 100 years old, and 9 over 105 who are using our solution. We're using the government solution, digital identity. So you can see it is very easy to use. 5.2 million users, and 94% are using via an app, via a mobile phone, and the other are using a hard token, who do not use a mobile phone. And I think we were talking about how to be successful, and it is about talking about the harmonization between public and private sector to have a user-centric approach. So if you build a solution, you just don't build it for yourself, you build it because you are delivering a critical eID infrastructure for citizens. So you need to think, okay, what can I do that citizens are using the solution? What are the most practical use cases? And this is why we said, okay, we do like a user-centric approach where we harmonize the public and the private sector. So we have one digital identity, which is the key to get access to all public and all private sector services. So we have 2,000 private service providers using the digital identity solution and 180 service providers offering 2,000 services in the public sector spaces. As I mentioned before, in October 2021, we launched our third generation of eID solution, which is in line with the latest eIDAS regulation, PSD2, GDPR, and which is also very user-friendly, built on flexibility and modularity as key principles. So in our platform, which is a white label platform, this is a copy of the national eID solution we have built as white label based on 20 years of experience and 700,000 of hours. And the solution delivers ID verification, where you use a biometrics authentication to scan your face and build a digital certified digital identity. You have authentication, digital signing, you have a user registry, identity databases, security compliance module, portal, admin portal. We also have, we are also supporting existing digital identities, which we have an orchestration layer in our tool. So we support all digital identity where existing, where you can register in our platform and then get a certified ID. And this is built on APIs, microservices as OpenID Connect. So we can build and deliver a solution for member states in 6 months, 5 to 6 months. And then the member states will have a notified national eID solution on level of assurance low, substantial and high. This is what we can offer to private sector, but also to the public sector. As you see, we support different kind of token. We have the app, the mobile phone, and then we have different kind of a time-based one-time passcode, FIDO token, and then we have audio code reader for person with a kind of disability and cannot see, a problem to hear, and we also support non-mobile phone user with our solution. And yeah, and these are different kind of videos about our platform, about products, which we could share with you if you are interested.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Videli sme Rolanda Eichenauera z NETSu. Ďakujeme pekne za prezentáciu.